Your former life was in a bliss of ignorance, until you've awakened to the darkness waiting on the doorstep of our fragile dimension. Something terrible left its eons-old slumber, and the reality, as we knew it, collapsed. The city of Arkham was pulled to somewhere not of this world, and its residents are in the shadows of true terror. As a survivor of this catastrophe, you should investigate the strange occurrences in the city and survive the rising darkness, physically and mentally, if possible.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and followers of the Great Old Ones, and welcome to my... well, I guess you could call this a Let's Play as well, although I do consider this more as a first impressions preview of this game. Anyway, my name is Siperos, and this is Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones demo. First, I want to say that I did want to make this video last week, immediately after I got the message with this demo in it from the developers on Twitter. But unfortunately I had technical problems. The game refused to scale to 1920x1080 resolution, leaving black bars on all sides, and I had no idea why. I contacted the developers and exchanged quite a few emails with them, and we discovered that I just needed to tweak one simple setting in NVIDIA control panel. Just had to set the perform scaling to GPU. But, now that that's out of the way, you have no idea how excited I am about this game, folks. This is a Lovecraftian role-playing game of horror, loss and madness, which takes place in the strange worlds of H.P. Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos, and is being developed by Turkish indie developers called Cultic Games, based in Istanbul. This game was successfully kickstarted back in July last year, 2016, initially asking for 55,000 euros and raised over 73,000 euros, which is a little over 87,000 US dollars. So not the biggest Kickstarter success ever, but it got funded and that's what matters. Now, normally I don't play demos, betas or early access games, let alone make videos about them, but I decided to make an exception in this case. For two reasons. One, like I said, I'm really excited about this game because it has a very unique and different setting compared to most other classic computer role-playing games out there. Plus I'm a Lovecraft fan. And two, I want to help the developers to spread the word and advertise this game because it's not exactly that well known compared to the other crowdfunded role-playing games, and I think this deserves more attention. And what would be a better way to spread the word than by playing and showing it on my channel? Last time I checked, I think there were only 2 or 3 YouTubers covering this game. And in case you're wondering how I got access to the demo, I got it by backing this game on Kickstarter, so I am one of the proud backers, so there we go. In this episode, I think we are mostly going to focus on the character creation and see what options we got, create our character and enter the game. And next time we focus more on the gameplay aspect, but we'll see, depends how long the character creation takes. I tend to be rather thorough, as you might know if you have watched my other role-playing game Let's Plays, especially the blind ones. And before we start, I must remind you that this is a demo, meaning that this is not representing the full product. Some features have not been added to the game yet, and as they say down here on the bottom right corner, elements are subject to change. But regardless, this should give you a pretty good idea what the game is about, how it looks and plays. And now, without further ado, let's create our character. And let's create a very new character from scratch. So as you can see, there's also an option to make a pre-made character. And I might actually play this game for the second time as well, and see what pre-made options we have. But for now, let's create our first character from scratch. So we can pick gender. Female or male, although female PC model is not available in the demo, a male character model will be substituted instead, so I guess that there's no really any point to pick a female, so might as well pick a male one as well. Although if you look at this picture here, I think that those women avatars or portraits here are giving us quite a good idea that what the female models and portraits and avatars will look like. But yeah, so let's make male. Age. Young. Characters are in their physical prime but lack the experience of older characters. Starts the game with a bonus point in either physique, agility or senses, but is penalized with 2 less skill points. Ah, interesting. I don't think that... I'm trying to think of any other game where you can actually decide the age of your character like in any way similar way than in this game, but I can't come up with any. And adult. Characters have a balance in physical aptitude and life experience. Starts the game with the default values in attribute and skill pools. So maybe it's a good idea that we start with the adult version, with the adult option here. I don't know if these are... Maybe these are difficulty settings, that could also be it. And old. Characters are in physical decline but have acquired more life experience than younger characters. Starts the game with a penalty in either physique, agility or senses, but is awarded with 2 more skill points. Well, okay, I don't think that these are difficulty settings or anything. So, let's just go... So, this is the age that your character begins the game with. Age determines the starting numbers in attribute and skill pools. Alright, so let's go with I don't know. Let's go this the neutral option, where the attributes and stats are balanced. So we go with the adult. Okay, since this game is not your typical classic fantasy role-playing game or anything, so there's not really any classes like paladins, rogues, warriors, wizards, or anything else like that. But instead we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 archetypes here. And each of these archetypes, from what I remember anyway, it's been quite a long time since last time I watched any videos of the game and its features, or read the Kickstarter update messages. So instead we have these archetypes, and each of these archetypes have 3 different skills that they are specialized in. So first we got the academic, which is perhaps the most used archetype in Lovecraftian stories. So academic. This character used to be a research scientist at Miskatonic University. Miskatonic University. If you have read or heard any Lovecraftian stories, then Miskatonic University should ring a bell. Sent on a remote expedition on a foreign land, he had no warning of the doom patiently waiting beneath their frigid wastes. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this could be a reference to one of Lovecraft's stories, at the Mountains of Madness, possibly. I'm not exactly familiar with all of his stories, but let's see if I can let's see if I can spot the references here. So the 3 skills that the academic is specialized in is medicine, psychology, and science. No tooltips, alright. So medicine, psychology, and science skills can be improved to the maximum level. Alright, so basically, you can train any skills to any characters. Like, for example, I could train an academic character to be very skillful with guns, but he can never be as skillful as a max leveled, say, well, I assume that criminal, investigator, soldier, and possibly explorer can have maximum gun skills, but the academic can't have that. He can be somewhat skillful, but not an expert, and requires a minimum score of 6 in mind. Alright, and we also have backgrounds here. So we got scientist, which is default. The character has no particular advantages or disadvantages and starts the game with the usual specifications of your chosen archetype. So we got a researcher. You were a research assistant at Miskatonic University. Years of physical inactivity has taken its toll on you. Faster scientific and medical research, -1 physical defense. Psychiatrist. You have a diploma in psychiatry. For a long time you believed the supernatural existed only in people's minds. +1 psychology and -1 supernatural defense. And physician. You graduated from Miskatonic School of Medicine and spent the last several years away from physical conflict. So +1 medicine, -1 melee attack, and -1 ranged attack. Oh, and here, this is your character's profession and overall theme. The archetype determines the set of skills at which your character will excel at during the game, as well as some of your role-playing options. That's nice. Alright, so that was academic. Then we have aristocrat. After the loss of his mother, this character is the sole remnant of a noble family. The memories provoked by his return to the family estate are not all pleasant. So, and she specialized in occult, science and speechcraft skills. Alright. And this archetype has no attribute requirement. Alright. So, patrician. The character has no particular advantages or disadvantages. Yeah, alright. So, prodigal. You inherited a considerably large legacy from your parents and had the chance or the misfortune to afford being repulsive. Starts the game with extra jewelry, lower sex appeal. Alright. Cursed bloodline. A terrible sin committed in the past still haunts your family. You meddled with the occult to lift the curse, but to no avail. So +1 occult, +3 critical failure chance. Alright, that's a quite big nerf. Bankrupt royalty. Your family went bankrupt and lost almost all of its property. You had to learn the facts of life the hard way. +1 survival and starts the game with -6. Not sure what 6 are, but I'm sure that we'll learn that eventually. So that was aristocrat. And we got criminal. This character used to be a hired gun for an underworld boss. His last stop on a long night of collecting protection money was a nightclub known for its patron's peculiar taste in entertainment. And he specialized in firearms, stealth and subterfuge. Requirement a minimum score of 6 in agility. And background gangster, which is the default option. Then we got thief. You have a past in thievery and excel at moving silently, but you often choose to run away when things get hot. So +1 stealth and -1 melee attack. Hitman. You were a hired gun for the mafia. You carried the weight of the dead bodies you left in your wake. +1 firearms, +50 angst. Not sure what angst is or does exactly, but well, we'll learn that eventually too. I'm sure. Maybe angst has something to do with the insanity in this game, because like in many other games, not that there's many of them, but like there's in many other Lovecraftian games or games heavily inspired by H.P. Lovecraft and Cthulhu mythos, there is an insanity system in this game as well, so your character can go insane and mad. But I'm not sure if there is some positive effects from being mad as well. There is going to be some negative side effects of being completely insane, of course, but I'm not sure if there's going to be some positive ones as well. So maybe being insane is not completely terrible in this game, but I guess we'll learn eventually. And then con artist. You can persuade people into believing you are the Prince of Arkham, but often shy away from physical conflict. So +1 speechcraft and -1 physical defense. Okie dokie. Then the Explorer. And the Explorer was actually the first and last stretch goal that the Kickstarter campaign reached. There were 3 other stretch goals they revealed as well, but unfortunately they never, at least to my knowledge anyway, they never got enough funding to reach the second one. But I'll talk about the other stretch goals later. So, Explorer. This character is a professional hunter and adventurer. While exploring the Dark Continent, he met an ancient tribe. What he views as simple tribal superstition will come back to haunt him. And he specialized in athletics, firearms, and survival skills. Requirement a minimum score of 6 in agility. Background adventurer and pathfinder. You used to earn your living as a guide in uncivilized territories. You prefer to move with a lighter lighter load for better mobility, lower chance of random combat encounters, and lower inventory capacity. Mountaineer. You tested your endurance in the past by reaching the peaks of tall mountains. You rarely leave things to chance and act cautiously, so +1 athletics, -2% critical success chance. Big game hunter. You were a trophy hunter, seeking glory in conquering the wild. You learned to keep your prey at a distance and shun the opposite scenario. Higher damage to beastly enemies, -1 melee attack. Okie dokie, so that was the explorer. Then the investigator. This character is a private investigator who used to work for Boston Bureau of Investigation. His latest case attempted to locate a missing child and turned out to be much more complicated than a common kidnapping. This might actually be a reference to the Shadow over Innsmouth, I'm quite sure, or at least in one of the most, if not the most well-known, Cthulhu-based video game called Call of Cthulhu: Dark Corners of the Earth. There's also an investigator character, the main character that you control, who also got a job to find a missing person, and then he went to Innsmouth. So this could be very well be a. So this is most certainly a reference to that. So anyway, and he specialized in investigation, firearms and psychology skills. Requires a minimum score of 6 in senses, and the default one is detective. Then we got occult detective. You encountered the supernatural in some of your past cases. Those experiences still haunt you. +1 occult, +50 angst. Ex-cop. You have a past in law enforcement. The things you witnessed on duty left their mark on your mind. +1 firearms and -5 total sanity. Alright, so there's sanity separately here. Then bounty hunter. Your bounty hunting past taught you how to approach your targets unnoticed. For the right amount, you brought them dead or alive. +1 stealth can only be chosen by materialistic characters. Ah, alright. Oh yes, because there is also a fate system in this game as well. So you can basically pick the fate of your character, like is he a devoted Christian, or is he a materialistic atheist, or a Satan worshipper, I guess, or something like that. So this is a reference to that. Then we got occultist. This character is a member of a hidden order. The backing of the order has made life easier so far, but the initiation rite required to join the inner circle may involve some complications. Investigation, medicine and occult skills are the skills he specialized in, and requires a minimum score of 6 in will. Oh, and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, each of these characters, by the way, have their very own prologue as you start the game. But I highly doubt that we are going to see those prologues in the demo, but just so you know. So background, secret society. Alright, so that's the default. Then we got mesmerist. You were a practitioner of Mesmer's magnetism techniques and learned a lot about psychology from your former patients, along with their darkest secrets. +1 psychology and -5 total sanity. Depraved occultist. Like Crawford or Rasputin before him, you have an unholy aura of sexual magnetism, but tend to neglect occult studies in favor of carnal pleasures, so higher sex appeal and slower artifact research. And lastly, alchemist. You are adept at the esoteric art of the alchemy and focused your medical studies solely on transmutation. Oh wait, not medical, medicinal. Or is it that medicinal study solely on transmutation? Considerably higher medical research rating. Medicine skills can't be used in games challenges. Medicine skills can't be used in games challenges. I'm not sure what this game means by games challengers, but well, again, we'll learn. And performer. This character is an actor for a traveling theater troupe. She was invited to Arkham by a woman desiring a private performance at her mansion. How could she refuse such an enthusiastic admirer? Athletics, speechcraft and stealth are her specialized skills and requires a minimum score of 6 in presence. So we got actor, then movie actor. You had some roles on the silver screen. You have it, but also have a tendency to fall into addiction easily. Higher sex appeal and lower addiction threshold. Juggler. You earned your living as a juggler for a long time. Your moves tend to be flashier but also riskier. +2 throw-in and +3% critical failure chance. And busker. You were a busker in your past and know how to survive on the streets, though you never had much wealth. So +1 subterfuge and starts the game with less 6. So maybe 6 is the currency in this game. So it's basically money. And lastly we got Soldier. This character took part in a secret government assault on an isolated coastal town. The enemy was not entirely human. Alright, well now this is an obvious reference to the shadow over Innsmouth. This is an obvious one. And he specialized in firearms, melee and survival skills and requires a minimum score of 6 in physique. So background we got simple private, then military intelligence. You served in the military intelligence. Your position kept you away from active duty for the last few years. So +1 subterfuge and -1 physical defense. Then marine. You served as a member of the Marine Corps. Screams of your fallen squadmates still echo in your mind. Starts again with aimed shot ability. -5 total sanity. And bouncer. After leaving the service, you took a job as a bouncer to support yourself. You got a lot of practice showing the troublemakers their place, but unfortunately took a few heavy blows to the head in the process. So +1 melee and -1 reaction. Oh, okay. So these were all the archetypes here. And also I just remember that, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard or read from somewhere that the aristocrat is also going to have her or his own unique companion from the very start of the game. The companion is supposed to be some sort of a house servant, like butler of some sort, which makes sense because aristocrats used to have house servants like that back in those days. And by back in those days I mean somewhere around early 1900s or late 1800s. And if I'm not mistaken, the explorer will also have his own unique companion, which is his hound here. But it doesn't mention it here for some reason. But now I think that for this playthrough we are gonna go with the investigator. And maybe we should just go with the default here, with no particular advantages or disadvantages. And we got some and we're specialized in investigation and firearms and psychology, which sounds very good to me. So let's go with the investigator and detective. Alright, and now here comes the fate or belief system here. So we got humanistic. Throughout history, mankind has survived countless threats. If we stop wringing our hands and start cooperating, we will live to see the human spirit prevail once more. Well, I don't know about that exactly. Considering that it's the old gods, the outer gods, and Cthulhu himself presumably that we are going to deal with. So extra sanity can be gained by selecting humanistic dialogue choices and committing acts of altruism. Alright. Then we got materialistic. If we are all doomed, let's make our final days worthwhile. Wealth, lust, power, pursue whatever eases your pain. Extra sanity can be gained by selecting materialistic dialogue choices through material gain and acts of self-indulgence. Nihilistic. At last, there's no doubt that human beings are of no significance in the cold machinations of the cosmos. Thus, every action is of equal importance and worthlessness, just as it has always been. Extra sanity can be gained by nihilistic, that's how you say it, not nihilistic, nihilistic dialogue choices. A nihilistic cannot gain sanity through her actions, but begins the game with higher mental resistance. Alright, interesting. Then divine. The Black Day is God's final test of humanity. We failed him we failed him once, but he has given us this last chance of redemption. Those who are alive survived this for a reason, to prove that mankind is not without hope. Extra sanity can be gained by selecting fateful dialogue choices and through acts of divine worship. Rational. No matter how unusual or baffling, no phenomenon is beyond their boundaries of science and rational thought. There has to be an explanation. What must be done is to search and find it. Extra sanity can be gained by selecting rational dialogue choices and through scientific and medical research, science or medicine skills recommended, yeah, obviously, and esoteric. When supernatural becomes natural, the only path is to embrace the knowledge of the ancient forces behind the veil. We must tap into the hidden arts and realize our potential in order to survive and eventually dominate. Extra sanity can be gained by selecting esoteric dialogue choices and through occult research, occult skill recommended, obviously. Did I read this already? Belief systems determine how your character deals with the warped reality of the new Arkham. Properly role-playing your chosen belief system will grant valuable sanity points. Alright, so we are an investigator here. So I think I like nihilistic the best here, so let's pick this. And then character identity, so we can select the portrait, of course. look at that guy, he looks so evil. This guy here actually looks like Jack Nicholson. Nice. So these are the only portraits that the game has as of now. There's only 2 female portraits from what I can see anyway. But now for this character, well, this guy looks like an investigator, so let's pick this. And name Louis Theobald. You know what? Let's just pick that one since the game suggested it. What was the last name? Theobald. Louis Theobald. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, and now we select the attributes and stuff. So, physique determines a character's general physical prowess and is frequently used with melee and survival skills. Agility determines the extent of your character's overall dexterousness and is frequently used with athletics, firearms, melee, subterfuge, and stealth skills. Senses determines a character's overall perceptiveness of the outside world and is frequently used with firearms, investigation, and survival skills. I think I want to sense at least, well there is 6 points there already, and I can't actually lower any more than that. Must be because we are an investigator and this is required for them. Mind determines your character's intellectual accumulation as well as cognitive faculties and is frequently used with medicine, occult, psychology, and science skills. Will is the attribute of exercising self-control as well as utilizing spiritual power and is frequently used with occult and survival skills. Presence determines your character's attractiveness, charisma, as well as personal charm and is frequently used with speechcraft skill. And then we got lots of these here. Athletics is the skill that enables characters to move gracefully, dodge attacks, and perform athletic maneuvers, affects throwing and physical defense. Firearms is the skill of operating all kinds of firearms from pistols to machine guns and everything in between. Affects range attack, obviously. Well, I think I want to invest at least 2 points. Well, looks like I cannot give more than 2. Investigation is the skill of observance, deduction, clue hunting, locating hidden objects, and finding subtle connections. Affects sense threat, and spot detect. Alright, I think I want to... Yeah, let's put 2 points there as well. Medicine is the skill of preparing remedies, performing medical operations, and the general study of plants and pharmaceuticals. Affects medical research. Melee is the skill of hand-to-hand fighting and handling melee weapons. Affects melee attack, obviously. Occult is the skill of comprehending the unknown and grasping the knowledge of the mythos. Affects spellcraft and occult research. Psychology is the skill of sensing the motives of others, conducting mental therapies and studying neurotic phenomena. Affects mental resistance. I was thinking that maybe let's put only 1 point to firearms and a second point here, because this is more interesting. Science is the skill of understanding the material world, making inventions and grasping the principles of scientific facts in this world and the next. Affects scientific research. Speechcraft is the skill of influencing others with words, navigating wisely through a heated debate, and mastering the art of demagogue. I assume that demagogue means lying, basically. Stealth is the skill of dispersing into the shadows, fading from the eyes and ears of would-be detectors. Affects stealth value. Subterfuge is the skill of dirty tricks, lockpicking and muggery. Survival is the skill of self-reliance, endurance, and the knowledge of making ends meet with minimal resources. Affects damage resistance. Alright, well, let's put some attribute points here. And what's this? Oh, I guess that this is a reset button. Okay, so senses determines the character's overall perceptiveness. Well, might as well put at least 1 point there. Physique, let's put 1 point to these two as well. Mind. Let's make this a rather intelligent investigator. Maybe 1 more to senses, and yeah, let's put 1 more point there. Why not? Here we can see our health and sanity and all the other stuff here. Yeah, alright. Let's just continue on. Alright, so our name is Lewis Theobald, archetype investigator, age adult, and gender male, belief system nihilistic, background detective. This character is a private investigator who used to work for Boston Bureau of Investigation. His latest case, attempted to locate a missing child, turned out to be much more complicated than a common kidnapping. Investigation, firearms, and psychology skills can be improved to the maximum level. Requires a minimum score of 6 in senses. Yeah. Okie dokie. Okay, so I guess we can just confirm and let's start the game. Venturing into the old eel attic. The demo version has no save feature. Think before you act and do not shun from escaping when need arises. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. This small man, huh? Find me beyond Arkham after the Black Day. At the time, these words did not mean much to you, but soon after you would come to understand. On what is now known as the Black Day, under the shadow of the Awakened, the world you knew vanished, and with it your hopes, future and loved ones. For reasons unknown, the city of Arkham was separated from the carcass of Earth and exiled to another place under alien stars and Twilight Realms something. Unlike many others, you survived body and mind mostly intact. Ever since you have existed from day to day in the grey gloom of the old eel house, waiting for that enigmatic man to call. A man whose very existence you are now beginning to question. Until you wake into another layer of the nightmare, until the visit at the old attic. So is that the small man? Journal updated. 2 lamps in darkness. So that's our character, I take it. Now, as you can see, the art style of this game is very unique and artistic. Now, to be completely honest with you, I was not a huge fan of this art style at first, but then as time went on, it grew on me, and now I actually like it a lot. It's very artistic, and very fits Lovecraftian theme and setting very well, in my opinion, anyway. I'm quite sure that the creative artistic reasons was not the only reason why they decided to go with this kind of artistic style and approach. I believe that the other system was simply about the budget reasons, because well, I don't know exactly, because I'm not a game developer myself, of course, but I would imagine that making a role-playing game where the world is completely 3D and the characters and monsters and everything is basically 3D, like Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 and Wasteland 2 and 2, for example. I would imagine that making games like those is much more expensive than making a simply 2D game like this. So that's just my so that's the other reason why I think they chose with this approach, and I like it. I simply like it, so I'm not complaining. Didn't like it at first, but now I like it. Love it even. So we picked up a lantern. So let's see, what do we have here? Our gun, inventory. What do we have here? So this is our inventory screen. Can I move this? Okay, we got lots of room here, so we can move it to his main hand. All right. We can also craft in this game, although I'm not sure if we can actually craft in the demo here. Grimoire. Ah, so we can do spells here. You can cast spells in battle via quick spell slots. Well, I don't have any spells because I'm an investigator. Maybe at least occultists should be able to cast some spells at the start. I'm quite sure, and possibly aristocrat. Aristocrat was the other one who is specialized in occult. I don't think that there was a third one. Map? Miskatonic University. And we are here at the Riverside, Main Street, French Hill. So I assume that these are the locations where we can actually go to in this demo. Follow him. He knows. In my dreams, all the trees dead. Beware of the red boats. Okay. Miskatonic River. Alright. Journal. So, let's see. The footsteps of the dismal man. A year ago I met a mysterious gentleman. I can recall little about him but his name, the dismal man. He knew about the Black Day and also the fact that I would be in Arkham. He told me to find him. Who is he? Does he have answers? What are these? I don't know. So, follow the dismal man into the streets of Arkham. Okie dokie. What else do we have? So we got the Grimoire, so we can access it through that as well. Stealth. So we just crouch a little bit and try to sneak. And these... and I believe that we can have at least 2 companions with us. At least judging by these 2 random portraits next to ours. And I don't know how many companions this game is going to have, but I do know that at least 3 of them has been revealed, and I have seen them. And after reading a little bit about them, I like them a lot already. They looked so interesting, but I'm not gonna spoil them for you here. Maybe we will run into them, or at least one of them in this demo. We'll see. So we got the map, journal, character. Okie dokie. So, before we go downstairs, let's see what we have here. I know that we can open that, but just checking if there's anything else that we can do or pick up. No? Alright. It's locked. Alright, so how do we try to picklock it? Not when we are stealth. How can I try to picklock that? There is an option to try to picklock it, right? Does this even have a... Are you sure you want to exit the game? No. Oh yeah, and as you might have noticed earlier, there is no options menu in this demo version yet. So I can't adjust the sound. So I can't adjust the sounds or well, anything really. I can't even check the key bindings or anything either. So I guess there's nothing else, but I assume that we can camp by pressing this. If we were outside and we had the camping supplies, I think. I don't know what that is. Interact with something, I guess. I'm trying my right mouse and the middle mouse buttons and they do nothing. Only the left one does. Well, fine, let's go downstairs. Venturing into the old eel bar. Find a dismal man. He knows. Alright. Do we have anything here that we can pick up or interact with? The cook is dead, only serving cans. Alright. Nothing here. Alright. Guess we just go outside. Can you run, by the way? I'm double clicking, but he doesn't run. Shame. Venturing into Riverside. Find a dismal man. Well, I guess we just follow him. I mean, look at this art style. It's so Lovecraftian, for the lack of a better word. And I guess we just follow these footprints. Venture into the main street. Find a dismal man. So many loading screens already in this short amount of time, but at least they are not anywhere near as long as Pillars of Eternities or Tyranny, so that's a big plus. Oh. They are skeletons. Okay. Shame that I can't zoom in or anything. Well, let's just follow the dismal man here. Oh, there's a ball going on here, apparently. I wonder if this is a dream that we are seeing or something. What's happening? Oh my god. I can't do anything. Oh! That's right. Venture into the old eel attic. Do not forget to use the radial menu by right-clicking. It allows you to see all the possible interactions that a world item or actor offers. Objects that trigger the cursor to be lit may hold interest for you. Okie dokie. Okay, so it was a dream. Oh, we lost 15 sanity. That's not good. How much sanity did we have at the start? I think we had something like 55. And we lost 15. So now we have 40. Let's see. Inventory. Ah, okay, these are filters. Alright. So, character. Let's see, where can we see our sanity? Where could we see our sanity here? Experience, angst, whatever that is. Where can I... Sanity, here. Oh yeah, so we did have 55 and now we have 40. Yeah, so okay, so I was right. What's this? Perks and abilities. Okay, nothing here. Maybe because it's a demo. And I don't know what's this. This I guess that this could be I guess that this is about the fate system or something, but I can't click it. Or what was it? Devotion or belief or whatever it was. Press F1 to learn the controls. Alright, well, let's do that. Keyboard shortcuts. See character, Grimoire, inventory, journal, map, stealth. Alt highlight world objects, F1 tutorial, and F3 lock used for reporting bugs. Alright, so nothing too new here. Basically what you would expect. Right click on objects to open radio menu. Okay, but well, I did try that in my dream, but it didn't work. Well, well, maybe it was intended. Some skills can only be used through the radial menu. Okay. The glowing cursor indicates a point of interest or a potential skill use. Check the radial menu options of such interactables. And then we have already checked these. Exploration log. Alright. You can talk about the tutorial any time with F1 button. Alright. Alright, so let's try this again. Okay, and now we're actually running. Aha, alright. Fuck yes, we got lots of stuff here. Take all. Fuck yes. We're actually gonna look like an investigator here. Put up that hat, coat, and we got rations. So base canned food, pistol there, and ammo goes. Do we even need to put ammo anywhere? I assume not. 22 ammunition, a few. Oh wait, these are 6. I thought they were bullets. 6. Oh, they are cigarettes. That's what they are. Alright, so they are cigarettes. and at first I thought that these are bullets. So cigarettes. Maybe cigarettes is the, or maybe cigarettes. Maybe they are the currency in this world, because well, money is quite worthless in this day and age, I would imagine. So what? So the only real currency are cigarettes, which I assume can release some stress, and give you some relief, stress relief. So that makes sense. Then we got the ammunition, only 15 bullets, not a whole lot. Can we move it somewhere here? No. All right. Then we got laudanum shot. Morphine-based drug that relieves mental and physical pain, so it basically heals us. Yeah, health 8, 15, sanity 8 from 3 to 8. Use cost 2 action points. Alright, so there's going to be action points in this game, pretty much like in the the first 2 Fallout games or Divinity Original Sin games. Or at least I assume that AP means action points. Blank notebook. A handcover notebook, currently blank. Alright. Crafting trades paper. Detective's license. Baston PD issued this license permitting you to work as a field detective. Alright, that's nice. Nice. Aha, so we got 2 weapon slots, basically. Alright, but now let's... Oh wait, I just opened that. These decayed fragments of furniture betray the craftsmanship of talented carpenters. How heartbreaking to see their fine work reduced to a pile of scrap. Oh, and I already love how this text actually stays for as long as I want it to, so I can actually read this. I love that. I can barely read and text like this in time in Pillars of Eternity and Tyranny, for instance. In the gaps between the encroaching vines, this grimy window offers a glimpse of the black street below. The silence that permeates both inside and outside perfects the room's solitude. Oh wait, I just read that. Anything else in here? Maybe some wine or alcohol or whatever could be in there. I would also assume that alcohol is also very sought after here. The desire to sleep somewhere soft must outweigh the irritation of the sizable colony of fleas residing in this mattress. For the inhabitants of this new Arkham, flea bites are the least of their worries. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, so I guess that there's nothing else in here for now. You know what, folks? I think I'm going to end this episode here. Oh wait, no, goddammit, we can't do that. No, of course not, because the game just told us that there is no way to save the game, so we just have to explore everything in this one playthrough, I guess. So yeah, okay. So I guess we're not going to end this episode just yet. Well, let's just go downstairs then. Venture into the old eel bar. Do not leave your NPCs behind, hence you may not find them again, at least alive. Alright, so that's very good to know. Ah, so there actually are people down here. And they seem to be taking all of this rather well, by the looks of it. A wilted tourism advertisement from Marino's hometown in northern Italy, the only keepsake left from his youth. Now it is too late to go back. He will never again feel the cool Adriatic breeze. Can we talk to this guy? He's too busy playing. Well, actually, yeah, you keep playing. I like what I hear. Anything here? The barrels now serving as primitive tables still reek of stale alcohol and a damp, woody stench that makes your nose itch. Are these too busy? If you'll excuse me. We're in the middle of conversation here. A thick black residue covers this ashtray. The object stinks like the rest of the speakeasy, but somehow even worse. Alright, what about you, bartender? You see, Marino, the manager and bartender of the Old Eel. He's been your host for almost a year now. Of course, in return for your last precious resources. He has a tendency to suck you dry whenever he gets the opportunity. That bastard. Good morning, Cornuto. If you can call this never-ending fucking twilight morning. What was all that hurly-burly upstairs? Bad dreams? You could say that. Can you separate dream from reality anymore? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too, actually. It's nothing that concerns you. Can you separate dream from reality anymore? Oh, I see. Cornuto is quite a philosopher. I find my own view simpler and more effective. Whether this is dream or reality or fucking inferno, the question is, can you die? Well, most certainly. If you can kick the bucket, which is definitely still the case, my friend, I guess this is real enough. But if you want to give it a shot, I can spare you a pistol. Ah, no thank you, we have our own. Since you're awake, let's talk about the 6 you owe me. You were too drunk to pay yesterday and told me to remind you later, remember? I didn't drink yesterday, Marino. I assume that we're telling the truth here because I don't see I don't see this game saying that if you pick this then we are lying. This trick is getting old, Marino. Really? Did I drink that much? How much do I owe you? This trick is getting old, Marino. But I'm sure you did. Don't you trust your giving host, Cornuto? Where would you be now if I hadn't accommodated you? I pay for your accommodations, however poor they may be. Giving? I thought I'm the one who's being given. You'll have all my 6 soon. Why the hurry? I pay for your accommodations, however poor they may be. Poor? I guess my rather poor services are still much better than being eaten by ghouls in a dark corner of a street, Cornuto. They eat you alive, you know. Anyway, since you are a regular, and I'll probably take all your 6 anyway, consider this one on the house. Well, that's nice of you, I guess. Oh, really? Thank you for your generosity. You are really a good example of how low can a person go. I better go. Well, oh really, thank you for your generosity. Oh please, spare me your sharp wit. Later, Cornuto. Okay, so that was that. So that's how the dialogue system works. Very basic. Going by the labels, the shelves at first seem to be stocked with several different exotic liquors, but the bottles all contain the same cheap vodka Marino buys from the mob. Yeah, this is the same. And if you'll excuse me. Alright, so I can talk to him. There was no mourning period for Burton, the cook, since everyone preferred canned food to his tasteless fare anyway. If you excuse me, I am not interested. This state-of-the-art gramophone is a product of Denison Co. I assume it means corporation. In better times, it utilized the newest and best medium of audio technology, the vinyl disc. Now it is merely a piece of furniture. Ah, so we actually can run by double-clicking. Alright, we just couldn't do that in the dream. The barrels now serving as primitive tables. Ah, alright, we have read that. This furniture, taxidermied fish are entrapped in timelessness, displaying a total contrast with the freedom they once had in Miskatonic and other neighboring rivers. What about this guy? Throwing darts. You see an eccentric middle-aged man completely focused on the darts game he alone is playing. Exaltation all but radiates from this odd fellow. Care for a game of cricket? You don't get a chance to play against the world champion every day. He passes several of his darts to you. I bet that the only reason why he's the world champion is because, well, I would say that most of the population of Earth is dead, and he happens to be the best one still alive. Who are you? Didn't I just tell you? I'm the darts champion of the world. I'm also called Herschel. Oh, I feel the signs again. A new challenger approaches. Another fool to vanquish. Is it you? Yes, I am that fool. Now you're talking. He starts to tell you the rules of the game with rather too much enthusiasm. I guess he doesn't really get to play much with other people. Test your skills in a game of darts with Herschel. Agility. And the last round. Something tells me that we're not that good. Herschel wins. Yeah, I figured. Well, luckily we didn't bet any money. Well, not that there is any money. I meant 6. Another challenge in vanquishing the game of noble forest folk. Did you like the taste of my cold steel tip? You liked it, huh? Well, not really, no. Can we try again? Oh, but then again, why should we even try? We know that we would lose. Care for a game of cricket? Well, is there a prize? Prize? Nothing can come close to the thrill of the darts. Tobacco? Rubbish. But feeling the texture of the stem in your hand, the steel point savagely penetrating the board, it's priceless. Okay, I think he is a bit too enthusiastic. And the price? You want cigarettes? Beat me then. Beat the world champion and you'll have more cigarettes than you'll ever want. You see, I was a traveling salesman for Tom Rogers cigarettes. Ah, alright. But something tells me that we are going to lose this. Before I found my true self and become the champion. Damn those days. Herschel, go to Maine. Go to Boston. Herschel, your sales performance is getting lower. We are disappointed, Herschel. Where are they now? Ha! Dissatisfied bastards. Throws a dart. The old Herschel is gone with them. Throws another one. There is only the champion now. Another one. The champion! It seems you somehow transferred the frustrations of your past onto the game of darts. For what? XP gained 5 psychology. I discovered my true purpose in darts. The grand game that the leprechauns taught us back in the old world. Leprechauns? You talk nonsense. You feel that you have been meddling with his mental balance. Oh. The game is perhaps just a medium for you to escape from reality. There is actually no vital importance in winning or losing a game of darts. It's just a simple pastime. Now let's just forget about it. He continues with his game as if the recent conversation did not happen. Ready for a game of cricket? Well, let's play. Now you are talking. Let's see if you have any better luck this time. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. And we missed. Herschel wins. Alright. Okie dokie. At least we didn't lose any cigarettes, I think. No, we still have 100. We did... Oh wait. Did we have 100? Exactly 100 when we started. I think we did. This bar is ornamented with a variety of eel and sea motifs. The craftsmanship of the carvings add a refreshing flavor to an otherwise unsophisticated establishment. Alright. The mess on the table is indicative of the staff shortage at the old eel house. If they haven't been cleaned up by now, they likely never will. I can see some cigarettes there, but I think they have been used already. Well, let's go outside. Left click on your portrait in the exploration screen to focus the camera on your character. If only I had more 6. I was just wondering what this turquoise colored bar here is. Maybe it's our health? But then again, we haven't really lost... Oh wait, no. It must be our sanity, because we lost sanity earlier. And this red bar here is our health. These two are bouncers, I think. Run along now. No person in their right mind would want to live inside a rotting, clammy shed, nor be gullible enough to purchase any kind of food resulting from fishing. What's this guy steal? Oh, we can talk to him. You see a typical Arkham resident, tired and decrepit looking. He looks at you uneasily. Good day, sir. My name is Louis Theobald. Good day? Where have you been living? Does it look like a good day to you? Oh no, you are one of those. He goes white with fear. Those raving lunatics. He starts to move away in panic. Fool, mumble to yourself. Watch him leave silently. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wish they would let me inside. Alright. So I assume that there's a cult of some sort, which shouldn't really come as a surprise, considering the theme and setting of the game here. What do we have here? Rope and some cigarettes. Okay. I like how simply animated this water here is. Oh, we can move around like this. Okie dokie. Richter's drugstore. Save for the choking vines on every wall, this humble residence is one of the few that remains untouched by the destruction that has engulfed Arkham. Okie dokie. This towering depiction of one of the Elder Gods, perches atop the naked base of a shattered statue. Aha, look who it is. Octopus-like head, wings, and human-like caricature, or body. It's our good old Cthulhu. I wonder if we actually see Cthulhu in this game. Well, not in this demo, but in the final version. The decapitated statue of President Lincoln perfectly symbolizes the fate of American ideals in this horrid place. The people of Arkham have chosen fear over liberty, surrendering their future to subjugation and the rule of the mob. So the mob is running the place here and not the cultists. Or maybe they both are and they are warring against each other. Can I talk to this lady? And I still can't zoom in or anything, that's a bit shame. Oh, and now I can talk to her if I just clicked her enough. The cursor didn't change at all, so at first I thought that I couldn't talk to her. You see a typical Arkham resident, tired and decrepit looking. She looks at you uneasily. What is that grotesque monument over there? Yeah. The cult erected it in place of the old Lincoln statue. Grandfather altar, they call it. Damned atrocity. Cultists come from across the river to sacrifice people who have been marked by the mob. Blood offerings to Grandfather Cthulhu. Cthulhu. So that's how they pronounce Cthulhu here. Cthulhu? The mob marks people? Well, what is this Cthulhu? Even the name freezes my blood. The Grandfather, they call him, their new god who awakened on the Black Day with its brethren, the Great Old Ones. The fanatics of the cult torture, sacrifice and kill in their names. Why am I not surprised? Well, I am not surprised either. Now, if you'll excuse me, tell me about the cult. Mad fanatics who devoted themselves to Cthulhu and the other old ones. They rule the ruins of North Arkham, across the Miskatonic River. The cult comes to this side of the river either to find new blood for their ranks, or new victims to be sacrificed in their rites. I'm not sure which is worse. Well, I would assume that being a sacrifice is way worse. How can I get to the other side of the river? I don't recommend it. There are things lurking in the water. Only the cult can pass the river at will, but I have no idea how. Sometimes you can see the boats on Miskatonic, all painted red, crimson omens of doom. Ah, so that's why someone said that. Oh wait, it was on the map. It was on the map that where someone wrote that beware the red boats. So that's why. Another thing. Hurry it up. And about the mob. She looks around in fear. The mob is the law. The mob has taught you well, I see. How did they gain power? Well, I would assume that because the society went full anarch and there's no police or army anymore, maybe that's how they got the power. The mob has taught you well, I see. Let's not talk about these things. Well, sorry, but I'm curious. Who rules the mob? Wax-faced, she whispers. Wax-face? Well, that's not exactly the most intimidating name I've ever heard. I have heard of him. I haven't. I can see you won't be much help to me, you whisper in return. Alright, who is he? Please, let's change the subject. You can sense her anxiety. Okay, if you calm down. Now, if you'll excuse me. But lastly, what do you know about the Black Day? Nothing more than you, I guess. We had all seen the signs, right? People having the same nightmares, the mysterious disappearances, whole families massacred. We saw it coming, but pretended everything was fine. The Black Day started with that apocalyptic roar, piercing deep into our minds. The sky melting, colors fading. I can't remember anything else. Tears come to her eyes. It hurts me to remember as well. Please continue, if you can. When we came to our senses, Arkham lay beneath an alien sky, banished from our home forever. We are all alone in this purgatory, left to the mercy of tyrants and deviants. She burst into tears. Oh, damn it. That thing. And now I made her cry. I'm such a terrible person. Ah, but we can't go here for some reason. Oh wait, I guess we can by following those footprints. But I kinda want to go here first. Ah, alright. Ah, okay. This just means that I can't scroll further this way, but I can go to the next location by pressing these footprints. What do we have here? Since the Black Day, Richter's shop has been a popular destination for survivors, supplying a broad variety of synthetic drugs and remedies to common ailments. Richter gives no freebies no more. I'm surprised he gave freebies at all. A few more 6 and it will be fine. Well, I got quite a few 6, over 100, so I could give one to you. Well, fine. Who is that lady? She looks classic. You see a skinny woman wearing heavy makeup. Her provocative outfit emphasizes how she earns her living in Arkham. She moves like a person drugged or drunk. Alright. Oh, hi, darling. Her words are welcoming, her excitement fades. Interested in a good time? Sure, I could use some relief. Ah, so she's a prostitute. Alright. It depends. No thanks. No thanks. Come on, baby, don't be harsh on yourself. Everyone needs some good time in this town. I said no. Goodbye. Yeah, let's not bother with that. Not for now, anyway. So, let's check the drugstore. Always save some of your six for future challenges. You never know when you'll need them. I don't think that we can... Oh, there's a couple of guards here for obvious reasons, of course, but I wonder if they are part of the mob. But yeah, I don't think that I'm going to... I don't think that we are going to learn everything about this game and how it works in this one playthrough here. But I'm gonna play a little bit more. So, let's look around. This is where Richter conducts his experiments with a new and enhanced necrotics. A variety of flasks, tubes and other glassware, as well as a scientific scale and microscope, provide everything needed for basic chemistry. Mob is the law. Alright, so they are the mob. Go talk to Richter. The many types of drugs on these shelves indicate this was once a proper drugstore before Richter took over. Ah, so Richter is part of the mob and then he just took this drugstore for himself. So that's how it works. This anatomical model was designed to a strict medical standard and was once the property of Miskatonic University. Richter frequently makes use of this modular educational tool, but it's not clear what for. At some point this medical cabinet made the journey from St. Mary's Hospital into Richter's greasy hands. The fact that it is always under lock and key implies the contents are important to Richter's drug manufacturing process. This ornate gilded cash register is obviously meant to foreshadow the fortune Richter hopes to make through the sales of his wonder drugs. Richter keeps these needles scrupulously clean, ready for patients who are willing to embrace his psyche, altering unorthodox remedies. Alright, let's talk to Richter then. You see a middle-aged, educated-looking man with a hint of danger in his smile. This must be the owner of the pharmacy, Richter. A new one. Surprising. And just when I thought I had finally run out of possibilities. I mean business. You know, our numbers aren't growing these days. Now tell old Richter what makes you tick. I rarely disappoint. What kind of medicines do you sell? Let me see your stock. This is a pretty well guarded for a drugstore. Well, for obvious reasons. Of course, people want to have drugs and basically forget everything. That everything has gone to hell, I would imagine. What kind of medicine do you sell? Ah, the kinds that people really need. Tell me what is absent in your world. Euphoria? Relief? Self-confidence? If I don't have the remedy already, I can make it in my little laboratory. I'll be buying a lot from you. Shall we discuss a discount? Are you selling drugs? Let me see your stock. What about real medicine? I have a bit of this and that, but what do you stand to gain by living a few more years or preserving your health? This is not the old world, my friend. You better get used to it. If you ask me, our aim should be for pleasure rather than longevity. Filling our remaining time with as many enjoyable sensations as possible. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess I would have the same. Yeah, I guess I would do the same pretty much if I was in their shoes. Will it make any difference when we become one with oblivion? You have made your point. Now tell me, what will ease your suffering? Well, this place is pretty well guarded for a drugstore. And your mouth is pretty big for a person interested in my merchandise. Let's say I am a valuable asset to the mob. Yeah, I can imagine. Now tell me, what will ease your suffering? Well, let me see your stock. Of course, everyone in this town wants to peruse Uncle Richard's stock. Why should you be an exception? Open trade screen. Alright. Looks very basic. So we got cigars, which I assume are more effective and thus valuable than simple cigarettes. Whole pack of cigarettes. Fuck. A scalpel. Apart from its medical purpose, this surgical instrument can also be a lethal melee weapon. A cigar. Simple as that. Loose cigarettes. The new currency of Arkham. Yeah, I figured that the cigarettes are the new currency. Amphetamine. A very potent synthetic stimulant that can be taken via inhaler. Processed opium. Recreational sedative that can be smoked in a pipe. Coca-Vin Marie, a tonic wine with a high concentration of cocaine. Powdered cocaine, okay. Morphine shot, a powerful painkiller that can be injected via syringe. +2 damage, resistance, okay. Laudanum shot, so they heal and gives you sanity as well. Nerve tonic, a sedative in the form of a medical solution. Bandages, rolls of medical bandage that reduce bleeding and risk of infection. Doctor's bag contains essential first aid equipment including drugs and instruments. Oh wait, are these? Oh, okay. So he has 665 cigarettes here, for example, and they cost one costs one. One cigarette for one cigarette, and this costs 122 cigarettes. Fuck. Well, I did expect that it was going to be expensive, but still. Chemistry set. This chemistry set enables the user to analyze and craft various chemical solutions. I wonder if archetypes like the academic would have one of these two at the very start of the game, like doctor's bag or chemistry set, depending on his background. Like if he was a, I don't remember exactly what were all three backgrounds. Let's see. He was a psychiatrist and a physician. So basically a regular doctor. So if he took physician or doctor, I wonder if he would have a doctor's bag. And let's say that he had a chemist. So let's say that he had a chemist background as well. If he had a chemist background, would he have chemistry set? Maybe not, but I'm not sure. Opium pipe, an ornate keramatic opium pipe. We don't have a pipe on our we don't have a pipe ourselves, so maybe we should buy one just because. Well, a real detective must have a pipe. Oh, and now that I look at it, I think that there's a man with a man's head with a turban on his head as an ornate there. That's cool. Organic compounds, tubes of organic compounds, a strong corrosive acid mainly used in the construction industry. All right, and then I guess we could take some processed opium. Oh wait, but then again, that's quite expensive. Alright, well, let's give him the cigars he wants. So 46. Let's make a deal. And I wonder what this means. I wonder if this red 2% here means that he's going to charge us 2% more because we asked too many questions earlier. Okie dokie. So, how do we use this? Crafting traits, non-craftable. This bowl of this chromatic meerschaum pipe is beautifully carved with the image of an oriental man's face. It has been the best friend of many Arkham residents in the aftermath of the Black Day. Make sure to clean both bowl and stem after a few uses. Used for consuming processed opium and other tobacco products. Well, now we got a pipe. Now we are real. Now we are a real investigator. Alright. I guess we can leave for now. Alright, I guess I could play at least a little bit more. So let's check this place out before we finish. So left click on your portrait into exploration screen. The heck is exploration screen? Mob. Members of the mob. You better get out of our shooting range. I can actually talk to them like from this distance away. One of the few wooden structures, this building dates back to the colonial period, when timber was plentiful and cheap. There are all kinds of weird relics behind the broken glass of the shop's showcase. Maybe this is some sort of a occultist voodoo shop or whatever. Oh, a car. Or truck. What did you say, sorry? Refrigerators. It looks like I can't exactly... Only God decides when he puts his face. It looks like I can't actually... the dialogue that we see in the game like this doesn't appear here for some reason. The vehicle is locked. I don't think that the vehicle being locked really matters. You can just jump inside there from the back. So, examine. Having served its time on a daily run to Innsmouth. Ah, good old Innsmouth. This boss never suffered from an abundance of customers, yet now this timeless limbo has left it with no purpose at all. Okay, it's locked. Stay away from the clubhouse. I assume that this is the clubhouse. This actually looks pretty fucking cool. I really like how the game looks. I honestly do. At first I didn't, but now I really do. Let's see what will happen if you try to go inside. This short and decrepit palace, which once hosted many events and receptions as the Gentlemen's Club of Arkham, has been rechristened. I'm not sure if I'm spelling this correctly. Rechristened the Blackened Club by the surviving locals and serves as Waxface's criminal fortress. Ah, so that's where that's the mob's headquarters. Don't be suicidal. Will they just attack me if I keep poking them? Disappear now. Well, the game doesn't give me an option to actually go inside there, or even try to open the door. Maybe we cannot even get inside there in this demo. No, that doesn't look suspicious at all. No expense was spared in the construction of this beautiful mansion, which exemplifies the design of its period. The structure has somehow remained unscathed and is obviously still occupied, though the relentless vines have begun to assault it most aggressively. These sagging gabriel roofs were buffeted by an apocalyptic storm of unparalleled force. To your astonishment, both chimneys held up, only to become the nest of what seems to be a parasitic fungi native to this dimension. Ah, barrels. Anything here? A few cigarettes. And it was left alt that highlights the interactables. Baby rattle. The heck do we do with this? Crudely assembled from scrap parts, this junk wand rattles when shaken. Alright, maybe we can sell it. Although who the hell would want to buy a baby rattle? The three gargoyles represented on these oxidized blocks seem newer than the bridge itself, yet the design corresponds perfectly with the town's aesthetics, evoking a profound disturbance in the observer. Another mob. Heavy breathing through gas mask. Oh, so he has a gas mask. Oh, you are running all the way from there, like this, instead of going like here. Ah, church. After the locals salvaged whatever they could find of use, cultists turned this humble place of worship into an altar to their own depravity. Lies, where is your god? Heavy breathing through a gas mask. We can't actually get to the other side. We would have to get this mob away. Well, I don't know if this guy is part of the mob, but we would have to move him out of the way if we wanted to get there. Although I'm quite sure that he could just walk over this, walk over the fence here. Or maybe we are not even supposed to go in there because demo and everything. Hello, lady. You see a determined young woman with quite a pallid complexion in her 30s. Her outfit gives hints of metropolitan sensibility. You sense an air of hypochondria attached to this mysterious woman. Excuse me, sir, I would like to ask you something if I may. Please, madam, I'm listening. Finally, someone who wants to ask us questions. I'm looking for my husband, a slender, long-faced gentleman from Boston. His name is Radolph Carter. All I know is he arrived in Arkham. Do you know him or anything about his whereabouts? Well, I can't say I have. Ah, okay. So the game does highlight if we lie, if we can lie with some options. I did, but the details will cost you. I don't know if I have seen him, but the name does not ring a bell. Yeah. I see. Thank you, sir. I better continue my search. Perhaps I can help you in your search. I'm sorry, but I should be looking for him. Goodbye. Well, you do that. Oh, is she actually leaving? Yes, she actually left. And we can't go there. There's no footprints or anything to follow. And neither is here. Anything else that I have missed? French Hills timber houses could not resist the ravenous destruction of the Black Day, and nearly all of them have been deserted, presuming the inhabitants were lucky enough to survive at all. Alright, I guess we can go inside this house. It didn't say what it read, but it reads Schmidt's Antiques, I think. Schmidt's Antiques, yes. If you don't want your henchmen to abandon you, pay their fees. Don't mistake them for companions. Aha, so there are companions and henchmen separately. Interesting, I didn't know that. Now this place looks fancy. A late 18th century Italian harpsichord. You are astounded to see this delicate instrument in such excellent condition. An almost man-sized statue of Pan, god of the mountain wild in ancient Greek mythology. Carved in marble, this is a classical depiction of him perched on a tree stump, playing his flute and enjoying the company of nature. Behind the broken glass are a collection of weird relics, including a copper Soviet diving helm, a tribal totem, a clay figure of a lion, various masks crafted by indigenous peoples, and an 18th century bust. Indigenous, not sure how to spell that. This is one of Pickman's notorious paintings of a human-sized canine thing with goat-like hooves and cold black eyes, grappling what appears to be human. Henry Fuseli's famous painting of a key event in Norse mythology. The god Thor is depicted nude and triumphant, battering the head of Jormungand, which I assume is his hammer, the Midgard serpent. Oh wait, no. Battering the head of Jormungand. Ah, never mind. It's... never mind. I read it wrong. The Midgard serpent, under a stormy firmament for reproduction. It is expertly done. Buddha statue. A small obsidian statue of Kali. Oh wait, what did I say? Buddha. Of course it's Kali. Look at those hands. A small obsidian statue of Kali, the demon Hindu goddess of death. She is depicted in her battle stance and garishly and authentically colored. Immediately behind Isidore's work desk hangs a carefully organized collection of keys. Some are modern, some old and strange, and a few are of weird designs you have never seen before. I wonder if this guy could teach us some lockpicking skills or whatever. And is he a Jew? Is it a Jew hat he has on? Yeah, I think he's a Jew. What's that? A notebook with a key symbol on the cover, under the title Keys, Paths and Meanings. Okie dokie. So, what was your name again? An old man is sitting behind a dusty counter, surrounded by a variety of odd objects. He doesn't seem pleased to see you. Yes, are you looking for something in particular? What is this place? This is Schmidt's Antiques, or what's left of it. And I am Isidore Schmidt. Like the merchandise, I have been gathering dust here for a good long while. Tell me, how I may assist you, or perhaps how you can assist me. That's a very nice collection of keys you have. Thank you. I've put my life into this collection, though it is unfortunately incomplete. As he quickly reviews his row of keys, you notice a deep longing in his eyes. Why the interest in keys? I have always been fascinated by keys. I started collecting them in my childhood. It was simply a hobby, of course, until the Black Day. What changed after the Black Day? It's not important. Just remember that I will pay handsomely for keys. Well, I gotta remember that. But first, of course, I gotta use the keys on whatever those keys are for, of course, before I come and sell them to you. Well, alright. Tell me how I may assist you, or perhaps how you can assist me. Well, may I see your wares? Indeed, that is why I am here. But first tell me, if you see something you desire, how do you intend to pay for it? Do you accept the old money? I don't think we even have old money. 6. I have no interest in hoarding cigarettes, nor do I smoke them myself. I'm old enough to value breathing too much. Well, old money? My advice to you, sir, is to keep your old money in the restroom, where it may be of some use. Alright, so the old paper money especially really has no value here whatsoever. So what did you have in mind? Keys. I collect them, of course. You see all size and shapes. If you happen to come across any keys in this accursed place, bring them to Schmidt's Antiques. I will gladly trade the exquisite items from my collection for keys, or if you don't care about your health, I can also pay with cigarettes. But if you also accepted 6 in trade, it would allow you to obtain more keys. Yeah. I have all the 6 I need. Well, you have a peculiar attitude for a shop owner. And these are peculiar times. Well, I guess that's a good point. So, can I see your wares? Okay, so we can actually see his wares. So we got cigars, cigarettes, Vigilante, long-barreled 45 caliber revolver, chosen for its extended range and heavy firepower. Ritual knife, an elaborate ceremonial dagger. Papa Twilight's top hat. I like the look of that hat. Jesus, it's expensive though. The hat of Louisianan voodoo priest Papa Twilight grants the wearer increased supernatural defense. Wolverine's wrath, the ceremonial skull of a wild wolverine, increases the damage dealt as the wearer's health deteriorates. Graffold's Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands card from the tarot deck of Crawford, the renowned occultist, grants the wearer increased presence. Okay. Abdul's severed hand. The skeleton hand of a legendary Saracen thief grants the wearer increased subterfuge. Blood of Saint Mercurius. A necklace containing the holy blood of Saint Mercurius makes the wearer immune to bleeding. Interesting. The Book of Law. Written in 3 days during the esoteric vision, the Book of Law contributed to the controversy that established Crowley as the leading occultist of the 20th century. Origin of species. Darwin's radical ideas and conceptions about the naturally selective manifestations of evolution took the scientific world by storm. Pererka and Paralipomena. The 6 essays contained herein reflect Schopenhauer's pessimistic philosophy on the essence of existence. Good old Schopenhauer. I actually used to read and study a lot about philosophy and philosophers. Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. This is a collection of influential sermons that established Edwards as a leading religious figure of the Northwest Ecclesia. Or gold pocket watch. A Swiss-made gold pocket watch. Gold necklace. A well-crafted woman's gold necklace. Gold ring, just a gold ring. Silver pocket watch. Silver necklace and silver ring. And I don't see why anyone would ever buy these. Alright, but all the cool stuff is too expensive. Shame. Okay, here we also have 2% in red, whatever that means. Alright, okay. So I guess there's really nothing we can buy. Well, yeah, there's not really anything that we can buy. At least not any of the good stuff. Okay, now, so I've been playing for over an hour now, I'm quite sure. So I'm going to end this episode now here. So, I am of course going to make a new video of this game and explore the other side of the riverside where we didn't go this time. So we're going to explore that some more. But like the game said, I cannot save the game, unfortunately. So I have to start all over again. Which is a bit shame, but what can you do? So tell me in the comments if you want me to continue exploring this game some more by using the same character that I just made. I'm quite sure that I can remember the attributes and the archetype and the background very easily, so I think I can recreate this character. Or if you want, I can make a completely different character and see how much different experience we can get. So let me know in the comments how you want me to do the next episode. So, thank you for watching my Let's Play or preview or first impressions of Stygian, Reign of the Old Ones, and see you next time for more.